You're no stranger to popular series, are you? Because you were in Harry Potter, weren't you?
Yeah.
What was it like starring in such a cult classic franchise?
Well, starring would be pushing it a bit. I had one line, and that got cut. But I am still in it. I am there. I still got paid. So I pop up in
That's
a few
the important
scenes.
thing.
It was amazing. It was probably one of the most fun jobs. Just the sheer. I'd never been on anything that size, and the scale of it. And you know, sitting in the green room with Alan Rickman and Maggie Smith and all these amazing actors you'd watched your whole life. So it was just brilliant to be part of it. And as people still talk about it now, I still get kind of fan mail about it, even though I got my one little bit. The whole thing was glorious, really.
I can imagine. So, what made you decide to enter the acting industry? Did you always want to be an actor?
Pretty much, yeah. From when I was little, I just always loved. I loved watching films and watching TV, and it just felt like I remember going to the cinema when I was little and just thinking that looks like the most fun you can have. Yeah. And it's like, that's someone's job, you can actually do that. And then I was lucky enough to go to, I just went to a normal secondary school, comprehensive school, but lucky enough to have a great drama teacher there and a great drama department. And people would go off from my school and become actors, and they'd say that person was, Rob Brydon and Ruth Jones from Gavin and Stacey both went to my and so it wasn't like some distant dream. It was like, oh, they can do it. All right, I'll have a go as well. And I've just always really enjoyed it. So yeah, yeah.
So when you were younger and thinking of becoming an actor and enjoying all of that fantastic media, did you have a specific ambition in mind?
No, I just wanted to be. I wanted to just be able to do it. I knew it was a tough industry, and I knew it was hard to be successful. And I think, you know, I think we all have dreams about, you know, maybe one day I'll get an Oscar, or maybe one day I'll be a big movie star. But by the time I was actually doing it, I've always been quite happy to be that bloke. You know, and you go, who's that bloke we saw? It was that bloke. That bloke is insane. I keep seeing it because when you become that bloke, it means you're working quite a lot and you're in lots of stuff. So I'm very happy with the kind of level. I think the idea of becoming mega famous now might kind of freak me out quite a lot. But I mean, success in this business is literally just working, and I do work, so I'm really happy.
That's fantastic. Do you remember your first TV role? What was that like?
I do. My first TV role was, I think it was one day on a job. It was a biopic TV series about an old 50s film star called Diana Dawes, and I was playing a drinking friend of her husband. But my scenes were set in the 70s. We had one day and we went to a pub, we had to drink too much and then get into a fight. So it was quite fun. So I had to do a bit of kind of stage fighting, and then I was bundled out into the back of a police van. And that was the first thing I ever did after leaving drama school, and I loved it. Although I was actually, while I was at drama school, I was an extra in something quite cool.
Ooh.
I was an extra in episode 1, The Phantom Menace of Star Wars. So you can't see my face, but I think you can possibly see the back of my head.
That must have been an amazing experience.
It was. It was a mixture of excitement and intense boredom, because there was a lot of hanging around, and we were part of a crowd that was waving in the triumphant warriors as they came back at the end. Right. So we had to spend all day. They cheated us. We were in a crowd, and we just moved down and down and down. So we spent probably about 3 days just cheering.
You get to say you're in Star Wars several times over.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
You've worked with a lot of well-known and very famous actors, but is there anyone you haven't worked with yet who you would love to work with in the future?
Wow, that's a tricky one. I'm a big admirer. I grew up really enjoying comedy and that world, so I'd love to do something with. I've already worked with some great people in comedy. I'd love to do a bit with Steve Coogan, who does Alan Partridge, I think that would be fun. I was a big fan of his growing up, and I don't know about kind of big stars. I don't really know. I just quite like. Again, I like never knowing what's coming next.
It's fantastic. Did you have a sort of first idol in the acting industry?
That's interesting. I always liked people who kind of played different characters. So I always liked going, oh, it's him again, but he's playing someone different. So I always liked people like, I was a big fan of like Peter Sellers growing up. I don't know if you know him. Yeah. He never played the same character twice. He would always play different characters and always transform himself. So I was a big fan of people like that. And I did love, comedy was always my first love as a child. So all those people who came out of like, who were big in the 80s, because that's how old I am, people like Bill Murray and Steve Martin and all those people, they were the people I really loved watching.
I can imagine. They're very talented.
Yeah.
And for our last question, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would that be?
It would be enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Don't worry too much. Don't stress. You will find a way through this industry. You will be working, and one day you'll be on a really, really popular show that everyone seems to love. So just take that and don't worry about all the rejection that you're going to get, because that's just part of it.
That's a fantastic piece of advice. I'm sure young actors everywhere will really love it.
I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's been wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have more planned afterwards. Please stick around after a quick break. See you then. Welcome back to Frame the Fame. Now, with everything we've seen, I think we've had some utterly amazing things. But our talented team has created a music video for us to enjoy. Please sit back and enjoy. That was absolutely amazing, wasn't it? Our team is incredibly talented and we couldn't be more thankful. But sadly, that is all the time that we have today. What was your highlight? Was it our wonderful interview or our scenes on the red carpet? Or was it the music video? We would love to know what you think. And with that, today's show must come to an end. Again, my name is Freddie. This has been Frame the Fame, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.